Manga-Waido.
I'm Takayuki Nakano. I have the kanji for happiness in my name, but I can hardly remember being happy in my life, because my parents were debt-ridden bums. Until the 3rd grade, I was just barely able to live a normal life thanks to my grandmother who lived in the neighborhood. I never went hungry because my grandmother cooked for me and provided me with clothes so I didn't have to dress like a stench. But it was the worst after my grandmother passed away. My mother was a self-proclaimed professional pachinko player, and my father was a self-proclaimed professional horse racing forecaster. She would win on rare occasion and buy me sushi or a cake, but that would happen once a month or so. It was so common for both of them to be gone for days at a time that I was living on my own as a 3rd grader. If that wasn't enough, they even collected a debt. I thought they had paid it off with my grandmother's inheritance, but it looks like they borrowed from somewhere else again. By the time I was in 6th grade, yakuza started coming to our house to collect the money.
Hey, where's your mom and dad?
I'm sorry. They haven't come home since yesterday.
I'll be back tomorrow, so keep them here when they get back. Understood?
But I can't do it. Dad's too strong, and he's violent.
If your parents don't show up, you're gonna be in big trouble. Tell them to be here tomorrow.
Yes.
I shriveled up to the threat of a real yakuza. That night, my parents finally came home reeking of alcohol. Sure enough, when I told them about the yakuza,
just ignore them or pretend like you're gone.
They wouldn't listen to me.
But you have to pay back the money you borrowed.
Shut up! If we pay them back, we won't be able to pay for your food!
Tell that to the yakuza then. I don't want to deal with that anymore. Don't you dare talk back.
It was pointless telling anything to these parents. And the next day...
What? Your parents aren't around today either.
I'm sorry. Here's some money.
Change? What is this? It's not even enough to pay for interest.
This is what I could find scavenging under the vending machine.
I'm not accepting that. Go buy some bread with that. You haven't eaten, have you? I'll be back in the morning. Keep the door unlocked and don't let your parents find out. You got it?
The yakuza left without taking anything. I bought a loaf of bread at a convenience store and ate it. First meal in a long time was so delicious that it brought tears to my eyes. I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to be by my grandma's side. At such a low point in my life, something happened which changed my destiny.
Get up! Give me the money!
The next morning, when I left the door unlocked as I was told, a few yakuza came barging in. My parents jumped up, rattled and shaking.
Hurry up and give me all the money you got! I'm so sorry! We aren't ready yet this month!
Next month, we promise. We promise we'll pay you back.
Stop screwing around! If you can't pay up, I might have to make you work in the North Sea! Please don't do that! That's right! I'll give him to you for the debt!
Yes, please, take him away. He's almost in middle school, so have him work or something. What are you talking about? Why should I?
I was pushed towards the yakuza. Taking advantage of the opportunity, my parents escaped through the window.
You gotta be kidding me. What the hell? Damn it!
You didn't even raise your kid properly, and now you're selling your own kid to the yakuza? I couldn't stop crying in frustration. I don't know if they felt sorry for me, if they were fed up.
Let's go!
The yakuza left without saying anything, and went to the back of the house so maybe they chased after my parents. I didn't care about anything anymore, and stopped going to school and stayed home. 2 days later...
What? You're alone again? Where are your parents?
They haven't been home since then.
Don't tell me you haven't eaten since then.
Please leave me alone. I don't care anymore.
Damn it. If you die like this, it'll be like it's my fault. Alright, come on.
What?
I said come on! What? You still want to live here?
I was so hungry I couldn't think straight. In a daze, I left the house with the yakuza pulling me by the arm. The yakuza, whose name was Kawase, lived in a shabby apartment. I thought he was going to sell me off somewhere. I was speechless when he laid out cup noodles and pastries in front of me.
Eat. Don't worry, there's no poison in it.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a whim. If you don't eat it, I'll eat it.
As I started gobbling up the food, Kawase-san said,
That's right.
and laughed a little. After a few days of being taken care of at Kawase-san's house, I was handed a document and told to fill it in. Apparently, I was going to be placed at a shelter.
An old friend of mine works at the government office. I went over and talked to him. Write your name there. He'll take care of the rest.
Thank you very much.
Huh? Your name is Takayuki?
Yes, but I'm not living a happy life at all.
I'm Kota, too written with the kanji big and happiness. But I'm not happy at all, so I guess we're similar.
His face looked somewhat lonely as he said that while puffing his cigarette. Then I was on track to go into a shelter and live a life completely detached from my toxic parents. Apparently, my parents still haven't returned home and have completely disappeared.
Thank you for all that you've done for me. I will definitely return the favor when I grow up.
Don't feel indebted to the yakuza. Well, live strong.
Yes, thank you very much.
After that, I went to junior high school and graduated. I was to attend high school in good spirits. There were some small bumps in the road at the facility, and times when I felt uncomfortable, but it was 100 times better than being in that house. I studied hard so I could get into a good company, and I was able to get a job after graduating from high school. The apartment I rented was small, but it was my own space. No toxic parents and no yakuza barging in to collect money. This is how I was finally able to feel happiness. About a year later, Kawase-san, it has been a long time. I came to thank you for that time. That day, I came to visit Kawase-san's house, the yakuza who rescued me from my toxic parents. Kawase-san had moved away, and it took me a year to find his place. Kawase-san came out looking half asleep. I'm Takayuki, who seems happy only in name even though he's not happy. When I said that,
Huh? Oh! It's you from back then.
he noticed and let me in.
I see, you're doing all right. That's good.
Yes, it was thanks to Kawase-san's help that day. Thank you so much.
I told you not to thank the yakuza. Well, I'm glad you didn't end up like me.
Kawase-san, do you regret becoming a yakuza? Kawase-san snickered and said,
It wasn't so bad in the old days, but as I get older, I see people my age living in the sun and living on the right path. I often wonder why I'm still here as the days go by.
Then, why don't you leave the yakuza?
Huh? You say that so easily, but
I saw it on TV. That yakuza can leave. The government is doing things to support them. I want to repay you, Kawase-san, and if you want to leave the yakuza, I'll give you support. Yes, I was looking for Kawase-san because I wanted to repay him in any way I could. Kawase-san with a fed-up expression.
it ain't that simple.
And laughed. In the end, I was sent home that day. But a few days later, I received an email from an unknown address to my email address on the business card I had given him. It was from Kawase-san. There it said, I'm seriously thinking of leaving the yakuza. Tell me about that support you were talking about. I visited Kawase-san's house again.
When I saw you, I thought maybe it's still possible for me to start over. Sorry for turning you away before.
No, I'm glad you're relying on me. I told Kawase-san about the support I had been researching.
I see. So they introduced you to jobs and stuff after you quit.
Yes, and they also seem to be able to help you with living expenses.
I see. Says minimum expenses. So I guess it's not gonna be big money.
Big money?
Apparently they stopped cutting off fingers, but ask for money instead. I was hoping to borrow a large sum of money for support, but I guess that's not gonna happen.
If you need money, I have some saved up. I've been saving up to repay you. Please use it.
Don't be stupid! I can't take that kind of money!
But I want you to be happy. I'm happy now, and I want you to be happy too. Just like the kanji in your name. When I stubbornly persisted, Kawase-san finally broke and said, all right, I'll borrow it.
I promise I'll pay you back. I'll borrow it until then. Is that okay with you?
Yes, no interest and no deadlines. I'll lend it to you as long as you need it for. So please, quit the yakuza and find happiness.
Yeah, thanks.
Fortunately, Kawase-san was still an underling, And because I gave him the money he asked, he was able to quit the yakuza without incident.
Thanks to you, I was able to get back on my feet. I even found a job. I thought it would never be possible, but I learned that you can do it if you try. Seriously, thank you.
Oh no, please don't thank me. I'm glad I could return the favor, even just a little bit. After that, Kawase-san came to return the money every month and we became drinking buddies. We found joy and happiness in our peaceful, normal days. But about a year after Kawase-san quit the yakuza, someone appeared to break that peace.
Takayuki, you've grown up!
Dad?
I saw you in front of the station. I was so surprised to see you in a suit.
Don't tell me you were following me! Those two scum parents came to my apartment all of a sudden.
Lend me some money! I'll win tomorrow for sure! I'll pay you back double! So do me a favor!
500,000 should be good for now. I raised you and want you to return the favor.
The favor? I don't owe you a single favor!
What?
You can't talk to your parents like this.
As the scum raised their voices from the room,
Hey, what's the trouble?
Kawase-san came out. I'd invited him for a drink at home that day.
Look who it is! Takayuki's parents! You finally came home, huh? Whoa! You're from the yakuza!
You live with the yakuza? What? No way.
No way? I see. If you're gonna have a misunderstanding, I'm gonna play along with it. Yeah, thanks to everything when I was a kid, I became a yakuza to get revenge on you. Brother, these guys don't have any money anyway. Let's take them apart and sell their guts. Kawase-san seems to have caught my intention. He grins and starts cracking his knuckles.
Yeah, scums who don't pay should be fed to the fishes. Dad!
My parents screamed and ran away. They never came back to see me after that. A few months later,
I heard from an old buddy of mine that your parents are on a fishing boat up north for real. Well, they probably won't be back for a while.
I don't even want to see their bones, so I'm hoping they'll just scatter into the sea.
Look at that mouth of yours!
Kawase-san, want to have a takoyaki party at my place sometimes? I bought a takoyaki plate with my bonus money.
Takoyaki party? Are you a student? That sounds nice. Let's do it!
Okay, I'll be waiting.
Yeah, I'll buy us some nice bottle of sake.
Just because you were born to toxic parents doesn't mean you'll always be unhappy. Depending on yourself and the people you meet, your life can change. Kawase-san and I still have a long way to go. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to find happiness, as my name suggests.